Hi, Josh here. Welcome to Microphone Stand Part 2. Missed Part 1? How could you miss Part 1? You should be subscribed. Hey, now what am I gonna do? Wait a minute, I got a bright idea. Click on this light bulb to watch Part 1. See what I did? Bright idea, light bulb. See? Anyway. We left off on part 1 of the somewhat successful drilling and tapping of the ball for the joint of the arm. Today we're going to make the other ball and actually finish the micro stand. To the video. Okay, so I got the ball inside the chuck, lining it. This time I'm going, so that I could align it, I left the threads on. So I have to cut those off and then drill. Apparently I got ahead of myself. I'm still aligning it. Virtual chucks. So throwing in the cutoff bit. Always make sure when you're using cutoff bits to not have overhang. Kills them. Not that it would matter. Alright, cutting. And I think I got this far. And it broke. Yeah, kinda clamping down on the ball is really hard because the ball is slightly smaller than the outside flange, so it jumped up on top of the cutoff bit and broke it. The only thing I can say what you're seeing is do not try this at home. I am a professional idiot. I was desperate and annoyed. I don't have any other cutoff bits. And surprisingly, it didn't work very well. I was quite shocked. Yep, I gave up and started whacking it. It worked. Not saying it didn't move a whole lot inside the chuck, but it really won't matter, as you will soon see. This is the worst. It's just bad. So now I'm cleaning up the. I guess I can't call it a cut. The break-off point. Alright, now it's time to drill the hole. And yes, the drill bit just broke. Or did it? Okay, I need to watch these better. The drill bit is going to break. See, now it broke. Boy, is my timing off. Anyway, I couldn't get the drill bit off. Or out, I should say. I tried, obviously, hitting it. Tried using the lathe to smooth it out and maybe re-drill it. The problem is it's a DeWalt drill bit. And if you never use DeWalt drill bits, they are hard. You drop them, they shatter. So after aligning my tailstock a little better, I attempted it again. Now, I still don't have a cutoff bit, so I chopped off the threads ahead of time and left just enough to align the ball to the chuck. Then I'll get rid of this little bit of material left out with just a normal lathe bit. I don't know what they're called. They're called lathe tooling. You know, actually, I don't think they have names, which is a bit ridiculous. At least none that I could find. Maybe I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. Now we're drilling with a good drill bit. I believe I was able to go 1.5 inches inside, in case you're wondering. And now we tap it. I could edit me coughing out, but I'm not going to. Too lazy. I remove a little bit of the threads because I can't thread all the way onto the rod. Okay, so what I'm doing now is putting grooves in the ball. What I found out is that the arms still couldn't take a whole lot of force. The arms are 16 inches long, so there is a bit of torque being applied to this joint. I probably could have just did it with a grinder, but it's easier on the lathe. And more fun. I spent months working on this lathe. I want to use it. I was attempting to use the stop. There's a thing on the lathe where you can clamp it down and have it stop and adjust it, but it needs a little lubrication. Okay, so let's try out with the grooves cut into it. Seems better, but there is a test that we must perform. I do believe it's called the tape measure test. Passes. Always try to be scientific in the garage. Now I wanted to, well, to get the joint not to move, the aluminum was under a lot of pressure and was giving. So what I decided to do is to use two metal plates on the outside to apply more force. Now, I didn't get any good video of this, but I did get very good video of me bending these plates, put a little kick into them to apply the force directly over the ball. So let's play that. Just play the grainy video. Just play it. So first step, put the die in the press, and the other part of the die, which is actually homemade. I found the die when I picked up the lathe at it's a industrial salvage place. Works well. 1/4 inch, it's a little funky, but below that it works quite well. We just put a little kick into it. There's one. And there's two. Which is good because there's only two that I need. Alright, now, so that I can loosen and tighten the joint, I'm welding a nut to these plates. That's also why I wanted to put steel plates, so I have something to weld a nut to. Now let's try it. I don't believe I'm using a tape measure test this time though. I think I'm using the sandbag test. Yeah, see, sandbag test. A little more accurate than the tape measure test. Right now it's time to build the part that the microphone will actually sit on that will connect to another ball on the other end of the arm. I'm making this out of aluminum for weight and to make it look pretty. I don't have to paint it. So I have the whole assembly put in a clamp, removing the aluminum oxide because you can't weld aluminum oxide. Always good to clean your joints before you weld. Now, because this is aluminum, I have to get out the TIG welder. It's an antique. It's the big red thing on the right-hand side. It's actually a TIG/arc welder. Pretty neat. Fun to operate. It's got really big switches that are very satisfying to switch. Oh, I have an app on my phone that gives me welder settings. I don't need it for the MIG, but since I do so little TIGging, it comes quite handy with that. Ain't that a pretty lens flare? That was my dad. He likes to block the shot a lot. Right now, let it cool down. I said let it cool down. Stop touching it. I have no patience. What can I say? So now it's time to make the piece that will slide inside the pipe that I have on my desk to support the shelving. This will slide into a tube that will then get bolted to said tube and have a hole in it to allow it to slide, allow the aluminum rod to slide back and forth so I can adjust it. So it's roughly the size of the inside diameter of the tubing. Actually a little small. I didn't remove the burrs from cutting, so it ended up being a little small. Doesn't really matter though, because I got 2 bolts going through it. Or not through it, into it, I should say. If I was going through it, it wouldn't really slide, would it? So now it's time to drill the 1/2-inch hole, no, 3/4 hole. Sorry. My 3/4 bit is a bit beaten up, so I had to go sharpen it a couple times. Still not quite right. I'm not very good at sharpening bits, I should say. Still trying to get the hang of it. I do it by hand. I don't use any fancy equipment. Alright, there we go. Although I think I am cutting on one side of the bit, but it's aluminum. No, it's not aluminum, it's steel. What am I saying? It's steel, of course it matters. I just didn't care. And I did run into a problem where the drill bit is not long enough. I hate it when that happens. So to try to rectify this, I drilled a smaller hole, 1/2 inch. That allowed me to drill all the way through without having it clog up on me. 1/2 inch drill bit was longer. Then it's just slightly less than a 3/4 hole, so that chips could pass by it somewhat. At least that was the theory. And now for the 3/4. Now since there's so little material for it to cut, I can go in a lot farther and not have the chips clog up. Still don't have any cutoff blades for my lathe, so I'm going to have to use a chop saw to cut it. Now, see how well it fits, which is not well. Really tight. Which means that I have to turn down the rod. But before we do that, let's drill and tap the 3 holes on this metal piece that goes into my desk that I can't remember the name of. There is a name for it, I just don't know what it is. So there's 2 1/4-inch holes that are the bolts will go into. Then there's another 3-inch hole that will allow a bolt to go through to clamp down on the rod so that it doesn't move in and out when I don't want it to. Hopefully this will all become clear when I install it. So with the holes drilled, it's time to tap them. I guess I really have to show this part because you should know how to tap, so I am anyway. Alright, now it's time to clean up that rod. Yeah, I put the videos in a little out of order. So the first step, because the rod is so long, I have to drill in a dimple, I guess you'd call it, for the dead center. All that for 2 seconds. Now I gotta realign it. Alright, now it's time to take a little bit off to make it slightly smaller so I can slide through that hole. Now, this took a really long time. The reason is I have a dead center, not a live center. If I had more subscribers, I might be able to afford a live center. But because you're not telling your friends to go watch my channel, you will now have to sit here for a couple minutes watching me turn down an aluminum rod. So during this time, why don't you go and tell your friends that there's a really interesting channel on YouTube called 610bob.com. Although I pronounce it 610. But we went through that last video. You know I also have a website called 610bob.com? Yeah, that's kind of where the name came from. In case you're wondering, I was greasing the motor, I heard a little squeak. This actually took so long that I was tying the service it before I was even halfway through. No, it wasn't. But it sounds good. I'm not even a quarter way done yet, can you believe it? This is accelerated, people. This isn't like this isn't live. This is 16 times, I believe. It took like an hour or two. At least while I'm standing there, I can clean off the lathe. Multitasking. My dad interrupted me again. And again. I decided to switch. I forgot I actually had this. It's a bit wider a bit, so hopefully it will make a cleaner mark. Did you tell your friends about this channel yet? What are you waiting for? You're watching here. Turn something. Go. Just tell your friends. Come back. I'm still be here. Leave it open another tab. That's what they're for. Can it be? Can I be done? Nope. A little bit at the end. Wasn't able to get to it. Still need more off. Maybe I should have measured a little better. Alright, finally! Done with that. Now, I don't have a post grinder yet. Actually, I do right now, but when I did this, I didn't. So I used some sandpaper to clean up. It's only aluminum. Now I'm adding a little groove in the back for a clip, so it doesn't slide all the way out and fall on my toe. So that would hurt. And now it's time to install it. Yes, I painted everything, in case you're wondering. So that's the piece we just finished sliding into the pipe. Yes, I know my desk is a mess. You don't have to tell me. I'm busy, I can't clean it. Now, when I painted it, I forgot to clean out the inside of the the steel piece that goes into the tube. So the aluminum didn't slide in and out very easily. If I worked it in, I think it cleaned it out pretty good. Now it's time to add the rest of the arm. In case you're wondering, yes, that is the original joint. I didn't see any sense in replacing that one. We'll just have to hang there, and it should be fine. I don't have any problems yet. Just a 1/4 inch bolt. I forgot to get a 3/8 bolt, so that wouldn't happen, so I have to go get one. Look, I found one in my basement. I don't want chocolate covered pretzels. I don't have any anymore. Alright, so you can see the 3/8 bolt worked rather well. Now I'm installing the mic. I just used the original stand. I took the stem off of the blue microphone stand and just screwed it right onto the aluminum piece I welded. And there you go. Now, what I didn't show you is these. I found them on Amazon. They're a handle. This one's a 3/8 thread, but they're adjustable, so you can push on it and turn. So all the bolts that I have in place at the joint and the one to prevent it from rotating are replaced with these guys. Anyway, thanks for watching. Do I really have to say it? Subscribe, like, share. You should already be subscribed. Remember the whole mess with the aluminum and it taking so long because I have no subscribers? Well, actually, that'll be because not enough people watch my videos. So, you should also share it. And hit the like button so I know you liked it. Actually, leave a comment at the bottom with suggestions for projects, ideas, how I can improve the show. I'm sure you'll tell me to edit better and stop tripping over my own tongue. Anyway, 610 Bob on Twitter and Instagram, 610bob.com, and when I say 610, I mean 610. Hopefully I won't have to say that anymore, but I probably will. Might just be a habit. Anyway, that's it. Oh wait, no, that's not it. Let me talk about some of the projects I got coming up. Repairing a car, rust. Not an engine, rust. If you want to learn how to bang out metal to the shape of a car to patch it up, keep an eye out for an upcoming video with that. Let's see, there's also a claw that I'm making for an excavator, so we can move sheet metal or scrap metal around easier. That should be coming up. And oh yeah, die grinder post made real easy and cheap. It'll be a real short video, but probably interesting. At least that's what I hope. Anyway, that should be it. Thanks. Bye.